This is Cash with Western Material Handling, Commerce City, and I'm here with Dane, and we're going over a, what's the weight capacity? 52,000 pound capacity?
Yes.
Kalmar forklift. All right. So, we're running a diesel 6-cylinder.
13.7 liter straight 6 Volvo Penta diesel.
All right. 13.7. So Dane is just going to take this phone. He's going to kind of show you the controls.
Okay.
Point them out. Describe them.
Alrighty. So we've got the hour meter here. We've got the gas gauge here. We have the coolant temperature here. This is your transmission clutch pressure, your engine oil pressure, and at some point, I believe when the engine was rebuilt, they put a new hour meter in there to be able to see how many hours are on the engine. We've got the turn signal indicator here, bright indicator, parking brake, battery charging light, brake pressure warning, transmission temperature warning, engine oil pressure warning, transmission pressure warning, coolant level warning, glow plug indicator, and engine overheat warning. On this, in order to start it, this does not have an electronic shutoff. It is using it's a cable operated engine kill system. So this lever here, you need to push all the way in. That allows the fuel to flow into the motor. Make sure the parking brake is engaged. Use your parking brake all the way forward, and on the detent is engaged. The key has 4 positions on it. We have off, on, engine preheat. You can see that turns the glow plug indicator on, letting know that it's doing the intake preheater is active. And the 4th position is start. Make sure you let the preheat run for about 10 seconds or so before starting it, longer in the winter time if need be. And make sure your transmission is in neutral. And we are up and running. The glow plug indicator will run anywhere from 60 seconds to an additional 2 minutes to allow to give it a better startup. Sometimes you'll hear the hydraulic accumulator running for a minute or so as the hydraulic accumulator is charging up. In here we've got our horn button. We've got our turn signals. Right turn signal. Here we have our work lights. These are the work lights up on the mast. These ones up here. We have the operator fan, which is up here on the ceiling. We've got a brand new lime green diamond print custom sewn interior on here. That's your hazard warning light if need be. Here's for your headlights. We have active brights on it. We have flash to pass and regular bright function. Here we have our fan for our HVAC controls. We have active ventilation on here, low speed, high speed. We have a fully functioning air conditioning unit charged with R134A. We have our front wipers. First position is constant on, second position is on intermittent wipe. Our function for how long of an intermittent is rotated through this knob here. Next wiper function is our rear window. And the third one is our roof wiper. This is our windshield washer. Hold it for a few seconds. It runs all 3 of them simultaneously. here on our HVAC controls. This is for our fresh air or our recirculation. At the bottom is going to be pulling fresh air in. This lever up at the top is going to be recirculating it from the interior compartment. The heater, I will label this before we deliver it. The cable controls is inverted, so this is actually going to be cold. This will be hot during winter season. AC, that is full cold. That's no AC at all up here.
What are we looking at now?
Let's see, we got our 3 pedals. Far right is our gas. Middle one is our normal brake. Far left one is our inching. Inching is what you want to generally use when you're lifting the mast. Inching is disengaging the transmission, so that way all the power from the engine is going into the hydraulic pump and you're not fighting the transmission if you're in a forward or reverse gear. We've got our shift selector here. That's forward, that's reverse. Backup alarm is active.
Are there 2 gears in reverse or is just 1?
No, we have 3 forward gears and 3 reverse gears.
Okay, explain that.
So our transmission selector on here, if you were to look at it this way, full clockwise is gear 1. That's gear 2, and that's gear 3. It's a manually selected system, so make sure that whoever the operators are understand that. If you're traveling at full speed in gear 3, don't try to shift it into gear 1 immediately. That, obviously would be catastrophic for it. So just, operator sense to know what gear to select. As you go up in speed, you can hear your engine RPMs increase and know when to shift up in your next gear. Bring it to a stop before dropping it back down into gear 1.
What do we got here?
Okay, over here, we've got our hydraulic functions. First lever is our lift function.
Now, I noticed you're also putting your foot on the throttle while
Yep.
you're doing it to increase the RPMs to...
Yes, because the engine RPM, it can lift it at idle, but with the amount of weight we have on this carriage, it is normal because a hydraulic pump ideally wants to see at least about 1,000 RPMs to make full hydraulic pressure. So I usually give it just, about 5 to 10%, throttle on it, just to raise the RPMs up a little bit.
So it doesn't bog down.
Yes. Our second lever is going to be for our tilt function. The Swedish decided to get real fancy. Back in the 80s, they weren't messing around with having 3 separate cylinders. So you do have side shift and you do have fork positioners, but whereas later systems had 2 cylinders for your fork positioning.
Wait, what does this system have on it?
I'm explaining that.
Okay.
Later systems had 1 cylinder for your side shift and then 2 for your fork positioning. This system, they simplified it and they used only 2 cylinders to do with both functions. So I'll show you, this is your side shift. However, you need to be about midway opened up on your forks. So take the 4th lever and open it up. So you can see we've got, about a midway gap here. So by using the 3rd function, we've got side shift and he activates both cylinders simultaneously. It does take a little getting used to in the first time you go to operate it, but it's fully usable. So if you're on the far right and you want to open it up, you have to side shift fully left because the right side is the slave off of the left side cylinder. And that's at full opening. So if we want to bring them in all the way, it's a 2-step process where we fork position the right one in all the way.
Speak louder.
Side shift all the way to the right. And then fork position the right one back in all the way.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
if you want to do that with me.
I'll hop down.
All right.
Anything else in here that we need to address?
We do got our seat belt here.
All right, let me see if I can climb down here. I did not think he was going to go off-road on that. The height? What's the height? What's the height? 13 feet. Let's open up the engine bay. We're going to take a look inside the engine there.